global controls will have to be imposed, and a world governing body will be created to enforce them. Crises precipitate change.
Secretly plotting your demise. I want to devise a virus.
Hello everyone, Darko 2012 here with Global Government News, and it's been a while since I posted my last little news video here. I've been kind of busy with this new radio show that this individual calls himself Delta, or Digital Addiction, have been working on. So far, to me, it's been a success. There's a lot of work we have to do with it. It's called The Cutting Edge, and if you could, I guess you call it a plug, but you know, it's usually every Saturday night at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on Shoutcast Radio. If you check out some of the videos that I've posted, there's 2 shows, and there should be another show coming soon, so you can kind of check those out in the meantime. Like I said, it's kind of new, and the other person I'm doing the show with, sometimes his schedule conflicts with running a show every Saturday, so if it's not a live show, there'll be a refeed. So besides that, the story that I'm covering here is called Full Body Scanners Arrive at Airports Along with Skepticism. And you know, I added this story along with a bunch of other ones that I'm going to cover here because I haven't had time to cover these, and so I'm going to try to just blast through a lot of these articles I've just been seeing, and it's been making my skin just, the hairs on just stand up because there's just so much stuff going on, and I haven't really covered any of it. But here you go. It says full body scanners arrive at airports along with skepticism, and then I went in there today and they had changed the title. The title was actually different, and I'll show you what it is. Airport body scanners, ready or not, here they come. So that was the actual original title, ready or not, here they come. In other words, they already had these things ready to go. They'd purchased them. They just needed an excuse to get them installed in the airports, and then so they had this intelligence patsy have some bunk-ass bomb, not even really a bomb or explosive, go off in his underpants and got enough people scared. So here we go with the body scanners, and no, they're not required, but eventually they will be. Because before, what was it? Metal detectors and wands, or you get a pat down, and now it's required to go through the metal detectors and get the wands, and so if you don't do the body scanners, now you have to do the wand, the metal detectors, the pat downs, and so eventually it's going to be mandatory for the body scanners, and then they'll have something totally new, right? Like facial I don't know what the hell they're going to come out with next, but then everything else before that will be mandatory and be like, oh, well, I guess I'll just do the body scanners, the wands, the pat downs, the metal detectors to avoid the next piece of shit Big Brother equipment that they roll out and force us to have to go through in order to travel, right? So here it goes. It says, waiting for her bags here at the Bob Hope International Airport baggage claim, Doris Kern is easily engaged on the subject of using body scanners to screen airline passengers. Quote, I will feel safer when more places use them, says the mother of 3. She goes on to quote her again, saying, but given the option, I'd rather take a pat down, right? So there you go. There's the mentality that I was talking about. It says the TSA, or Transportation Security Administration, announced Friday that 9 more airports in the U.S. will receive the machines in the next week as the Obama administration heightens security efforts in the wake of the attempted bombing of the Northwest Airlines flight on Christmas Day by a man carrying explosives in his underpants. Yeah, see, so it even sounds ridiculous when you read it off their little propaganda machine. 3 machines will go online Monday at Boston's Logan International Airport to be followed by units at the Fort Lauderdale, Florida, San Jose, California, Columbus, Ohio, San Diego, Charlotte, Cincinnati, LA, Oakland, California, Kansas City, and this is according to TSA's Lee Kair. Experts say, and polls concur, and this is what gets me, that the rollout of body scanners at U.S. airport security checkpoints will not be accompanied by the strong public resistance met in Europe. A U.S. Today Gallup poll released in January found that 78% of respondents said they approved of the using of the scanners, and 67% said they were comfortable with being examined by one. Some analysis, however, this is how they always do it, right? I always say this in my videos. Some, right? Because they with these polls and everything, they just manipulate it. I know that there's just going making these videos and covering these body scanners, there's a lot of people that do not want them, right? And they're not going to go through them, but they always have to do this. Some analysis, however, no, it's some pro-liberty people, pro-privacy people, however, do agree with the European aviation security experts who remain unconvinced of the cost benefits. I think the magnitude with which they are deploying them is overkill, says Bruce Mickindo, president of iJet Intelligence Risk Systems, a global risk and security company based in Annapolis, Maryland. The cost of the machines is high, and they have to be operated, calibrated, and maintained, which is very expensive on top of that purchase price, he says. And others say the cost could be measured not only in dollars, but in time delays for passengers. And see, this is how they do everything, is they just make it more convenient. So they'll say, oh, don't want to wait in long lines, it's just go through the body scanner, and that's how it'll be when, they have these right now, the little finger, the little, where you put your hand on it, but it's a kind of a bio scan for your hand. And, if you do that, well, then it just makes it faster to go through the airport, It's like, we are children and they play games with us. And so, yeah, it's more convenient, it's faster, It says this is not going to replace metal detectors anytime soon, says Sam Kamain, an associate professor of the criminal law at the University of Denver, who has written about the high-tech scanning and detection at airports and the possible constitutional implications. Quote, if this did, it would take you 4 hours to get on your flight, and it would cripple air travel. Passengers will have the option of accepting or declining a body scan. Those who do and pass will not have to pass through a metal detector or security equipment. Those who decline must walk through a metal detector and submit to a pat-down. Submit to a pat-down, like that. The scanners, which allow TSA to see beneath a passenger's clothing to search for explosives and other contraband, have drawn fire from civil libertarians. The American Civil Liberties Union has denounced the use of them as a virtual strip search. And I just want to point out here that, the stuff that the underwear bomber was using won't even be detected by these things. That's based off the research that I've done. And if I'm wrong, then someone please correct me. But, there's certain things that it still can't detect. And what I guess it was the powder or whatever explosives that it used, it can't be detected by these things. So, because the TA. So it's all like 9/11 and Patriot Act, it's all on false pretense. Everything is, and it's not even a real. It wasn't even a real terrorist attack. It was an intelligence gathering informant, people. And so I guess my point is, even if you don't want to look at the health aspect, which I've already checked, and some of the people that wrote in comments about the body scanner articles that I've posted, and I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. It's not ionizing, right? The radiation that they're emitting isn't ionizing, which means that it can't cause cancer, right? But what's going on with the cell phones? What's going on with this other type technology? We know that the tanning booths obviously will cause cancer. It is on the borderline of ionizing cells and that. So I just don't trust it. And the individual that presented this point to me made a good point, but at the same time, I just happen to not trust the research that he's getting his source from, because these people are pieces of scum, and they manipulate the results to get they manipulate data to get the results that they desire. And so it's you can call it unethical, but hey, they're going around preaching this whole anthropogenic whatever global warming theory, and that's a hunk of shit. And so I think there's a big ethics problem in their research, and I don't trust one bit of it. So if you don't want to look at the health aspect of it, right, at least look at the privacy issue. But I think it's a little too late. All you got to do is just resist and not go through it. So, or just don't travel.